Hey guys, welcome back to the Randomness101 Podcast. I'm Spentaur, your host, here with Arceaion, your co-host. You gonna say
Hello.
hi?
Yeah, hello. I
S-
mean, what you're seeing right now is live footage because this is over Discord for the very first time.
Yeah, this is
And
Arceaion, one of Arceion's games that he's been playing for a while. It's called Feral.
Fer.al. It's as you can see in the corner right here. This is an early access game,
Yeah, the bottom
and
left.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's really fun. It's quite a fun game. I would heavily recommend going and playing it if ever you have the chance.
yeah.
Support the developers,
So
all
is it
that
is
kind
it
of
just like
stuff.
free in
Yeah,
alpha and everything right now?
it's completely free. It's an alpha, and it's just early development stuff right
Yeah.
now. So
Well, yeah. So
they
we're gonna
don't
have
have
that.
it
We're gonna have
fully
that.
set up.
We're gonna have that playing in the background of the podcast today instead of the Shuba Duck because we feel like the Shuba Duck has been there since episode 1, and it's about time we kind of switch it. Um, so if you guys didn't watch the last episode, the last episode of the podcast was fun.
Yeah, it was a little
It was
little
it was
more
a little off the
cringe.
rails for per se.
Yeah, it was off the rails for both of us.
Yeah, it was still good. Like, I mean, it was cringe. Some of it was cringe, and that's why I had the cringe counter, and why I did so much editing. But
Yes, there's a lot to do there.
yeah. But it's like for part of it, it's like, oh well, I want a podcast that's easy to edit sometimes, and
So I
yeah,
guess we should go into a bit of detail on kind of what happened that
and
episode.
why the episode was so crazy and everything, because there is a reasoning behind it all.
And the reason is actually a pretty sad one. Um, so on that day, we went to the Renaissance Festival, and
And because of COVID,
I, because of COVID, about 80% of the festival is just not there anymore.
it was
Just shut
very
off.
disappointing. It was my
Yeah,
first Renaissance festivals, but
it was first, so he didn't really know what to experience or what to expect, but I've been there quite a few times, so I was very upset, very disappointed, and it's kind of why my energy was just not there precise.
yeah.
Well, per se.
Another thing I want to mention about the whole Discord call thing, we're still figuring this podcast thing out. Um, Last episode that we were recording and everything, the one that we call quote unquote 5.5, I think. We were having a lot of mic problems. So
Oh yeah.
we're trying it through Discord this time, get a little mix of change. So there may be a little lag of the input and everything, but eventually we'll figure it out and we'll get this podcast rolling. Well, I mean, it's been rolling. It's just
It's been
it's been
rolling.
tumbling. It's been tumbling. It's been
Yeah, I
tumbling
can give it.
upwards to like in a good sense. It's been doing good. So yeah. So
Yeah, it's
far
pretty good.
I have to say, like,
So
last episode was the only one that I can really think of that was like a quote unquote bad episode, and it's just because we were both just like we weren't really in the mood for recording and stuff. We just wanted to. We already had disappointment with the Renaissance Festival and everything, so we're just like, yeah, we have to do this too. So, which in retrospect, probably should have recorded it beforehand.
yeah, that might have changed quite a bit of the content.
The mood and everything. So, um, so yeah, but we just switched to God.
Also, unlike last episode, we do have a bit of like a topics planned out.
Yeah,
Last episode
last episode we didn't have a lot of topics planned. Like whenever we say topics
we
planned
didn't
out,
do
it's
any
just a
plans.
list. It's just a list of stuff that we would forget to talk about and stuff because every episode since before last episode we've had a list. Last episode we didn't have a list of just stuff to talk about, and just when we don't have stuff to talk about, we can't really think of stuff off the top of our head. I mean, we can sometimes. It just depends on the day. So
And yeah, and I mean, it's good to have a topics and ideas you want to cover
yeah.
so that when the time comes, you can, you know, get back to them and have an idea of what to do.
And speaking of
Uh,
time, speaking of time and Time Lords, just letting you guys know, we're big Doctor Who fans.
Yes, we are.
Yep, I literally binge watched pretty much all of Doctor Who, up to season 11 or 12. No, it was 12. Which one's 13? Is that with the girl
13
doctor?
Yeah.
Okay, then all the way up to 11, one whole for an entire summer. That's all I did was just binge watch Doctor Who because it was on Netflix. So
Yeah. I've watched the way up to about halfway through 11, and then I didn't have the time to finish it.
yeah.
But I do want to keep reading it and all that, or not.
Well,
Not
there's
watching.
actually Doctor Who comics. I went to a comic book store that Arceion's been to it with me, but they had a free comic book day and stuff, and there were Doctor Who comic books.
Really?
Yeah, so
Oh,
we'll
I
have to
would
keep an
love
eye
to
out for
see
those.
that.
We'll have to
Yeah,
keep an
I
eye
would
out for
love
those.
to
That's
see
kind of
that.
cool. So, but yeah, Arceon
Love to
hates
see
Shrek.
that.
Arceon hates Shrek.
No.
Let's talk about that for a second. Never seen the movie. You've never
No,
seen
I
the movie.
haven't.
Why do you hate Shrek? What is your reasoning?
The problem with it is that it's just. I mean, a lot of memes were put into it. It's a lot of good memes. I'm a heavy meme lord. The problem is that it's just so saturated and just so polluted, I guess, with stuff that it's just hard to tolerate.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally love Shrek. It's my favorite movie of all time. But
I can't stand it. I'm a meme lord, but I guess anything in too much of a, I guess anything with too much is just too much.
yeah. So, another thing I want to talk about, since we're watching you play Feral, there's this game on Steam that just came out, and it just came out 2 days ago or a day ago.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
How about you go into some details on it?
Well, it's called New World, and it's an RPG. It's from what I saw from the trailer and everything, it looks like Destiny. It basically looks like Destiny, but made into I want to say medieval RPG, but it's not really medieval. It's with magic and all that
Fantasy?
stuff. Fantasy. It's like a fantasy. It's like a Destiny RPG that's just more so fantasy, and it looks super cool. And it's actually developed by Amazon of all people. Jeff Bezos has a say in it and all.
Jeff Bezos is just popping off with all the stuff he does.
Yeah. Also, sorry if you're seeing some lag on the video and stuff. It's like we said, it's being streamed through Discord. This is the first time we're trying this. So later on we may do something different with it.
Well, later on, this may be a pre-recorded video.
Yeah.
The stuff may be pre-recorded.
Yeah, we might do something like that. We'll see. Although they can kind of see who's talking and stuff on the right side.
Yeah.
Because my image is my cat Marceline. I love her very much. That's her scary face whenever I bring a flashlight in the middle of the night and see her running across the room. And then Arceion's is the Undertale. Is that like a dragon?
It's the Gaster Blaster dragon.
Yeah. It's also your YouTube photo.
Yeah.
Your
I
YouTube
need to
channel
I need
profile.
I need to make a custom one of that eventually.
Yeah,
but-
I'm probably going to change mine once I get a certain thing that's coming in. Actually arrives tomorrow. I'm not going to spoil it for the viewers or anything, but Arceon knows what I'm talking about. It involves my appearance.
You did that.
Yeah.
At the same time, I can. Hang on. I'm gonna try and do this while talking. Oh, never mind. That's just not one of those.
Oh, okay.
There's treasure chests around that you got to lockpick. And there's one right over there.
Oh, okay. We can see it. You can show me that.
Yeah.
So is it mainly just a collecting game where you go through and you collect things?
It's just explore, have fun, collect, and this is gonna be hard. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Okay. Another thing we wanted to talk about is we are starting a new Minecraft series. It's starting out on Twitch, and then we're gonna live stream it on Twitch. And I don't know, what days do you want to record it? on Twitch? Or what days do you want to live stream on Twitch?
Go.
Oh, you lost your chance.
Well, you have to collect lockpicks, and I only had that one, and I thought this was a 2-point lockpick, and it was a 3 lock chest.
Ah.
I thought it was a 2 lock chest.
So yeah.
This. Oh, I
that
can't
one.
show you.
Oh, you don't have lockpicks.
That's a 2 lock, and that's a 1 lock.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Anyways, back to the Minecraft series. I don't know when we have a set streaming schedule, but just follow.
Oh, dude, I'm running on water. Dude, this is dope.
Like we said, folks, pre-alpha.
Yeah, it's early access.
Yeah.
It's if you hold the jump and holding the jump and space button, or with the space button and my brain shut off.
And the
jump
forward
and sprint. It's the jump and sprint button.
Oh, well, there you go. You can walk on water.
This is actually pretty dope.
But for the Minecraft series, we're going to be releasing the full video. Probably just going to release a full version on the Randomness101 channel, and then also just like the edited one on the Randomness101 channel. We'll probably do both.
That way you can have both.
Yeah.
The main problem right now is I don't have OBS and other
he doesn't have the recording or the editing software right now. To start making videos.
I'm gonna get those in a few days. Don't worry. See, here's a lockpick. Found a lockpick.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I am not going back to that chest. Worth it.
So yeah, what are they gonna see pop up? What's like the first video you want on your channel that you want to pop up?
It's actually, so I have a few series that are going to be coming up. One of them is the Assassin's Creed series. I'm going to do a full playthrough from the very first game all the way through. Like, going to be a full-on series.
Yeah.
The next one that I'm going to be doing is probably Doom. Doom 2016.
Doom's pretty good. I think the only Assassin's Creed game I ever got, I ended up buying from GameStop. Is Assassin's Creed Unity, the multiplayer one. But speaking of GameStop, the sad state of GameStop is one of the things we had on the list. It's
turned more into a franchise thing.
Yeah, GameStop has started to sell. Well, I just went in there the other day, and it started to sell a lot more just merchandise than actual games. Like they don't sell. They sell retro games and stuff. Oh, that's very creepy. They sell retro games and stuff on the online store, but you can't get them in store anymore. It's like they used to carry. I feel like part of it.
Assassin's Creed games used to be a physical copy, you know.
I mean, they still are. Like you can get Assassin's Creed Valhalla on PS4, but
with a physical copy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have a physical copy. Oh, while we're on that, actually, there's something else that I want to talk about that wasn't on the list. But so how do you feel like gaming's like what direction gaming's going with all these digital only consoles that you have to just you don't get physical games and stuff? Like, would you rather have the collection or just the free space?
I'd rather have kind of like both, the option to do both.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we're at right now is you don't download unless you're playing PC games, which we don't really have an option.
Because games like Destiny take so much memory and they take so much space on your computer.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was a physical copy, it probably wouldn't take up as much.
Well, actually the PS4 version of Destiny 2 Sorry, the PS4 version of Destiny 2 still takes up a ton of storage because they have the base game on the disc. They have the base game on the disc, and then they have the update.
Yeah. Well, in the corner you have the one lock. So let's see if I can.
Oh, you have one chance.
No, well, I do have one chance because of this.
Yeah.
If you run out of lockpicks, you run out of chances.
Yeah. So is this game mostly just collecting and stuff right now?
It's right now, yeah, it pretty much is. It's collecting, it's adventuring, it's kind of traveling around the world. They're mostly doing it so that you can find bugs, like, running on water.
Yeah.
Not the. I mean, that's a fun little.
Are they
That's a
gonna?
fun little thing.
Do you know if they're gonna make it like a MMO RPG sort of thing, or like what
I
direction they're
have no
planning on going,
idea.
or
Not really.
no?
I'm not too big into the community stuff, but I do love the game. So I figured I'd shout the game out. I'd shout out,
Well, yeah.
having fun with it.
We'll probably put a link to where you can download this game in the
Oh
description.
yeah,
Actually, of this
we're
video.
definitely we're definitely putting a link
So
just out of respect.
yeah, no, and we're also using gameplay and
Oh,
stuff. So
okay.
I'm sure like they want us to at least point out where it is.
Yeah,
So,
and I'd be happy to do that.
but yeah, most pre-alphas and early betas and stuff like that, it's all just to figure out where all the glitches are and everything. So yeah, but yeah, we're gonna start streaming on Twitch a bit more. Arceaion has his computer now, so we're able to do things like this, where he's in the background just playing a game while I'm over here just talking.
Yeah, I'm talking
Well,
to,
you're
but I
talking
mean,
too. You're doing your part, but I'm able
I'm
to
doing my part. What is that? It's that USAA commercial. I'm doing my part.
USA.
Or not USAA. It's
It's like some
uh
sort of insurance company.
yeah.
Yeah.
So well, what else do we have?
Well, speaking of
Well,
insurance
we
and
were talking.
stuff,
Well, we were talking about. We were talking about.
we just got off the topic of GameStop and how
Yeah.
it's gone downhill, and I don't pre-order games from there anymore.
Yeah, I don't even think you can pre-order games from there anymore.
You can't?
Like, I don't think you can anymore. I don't think
Hmm.
they have that option.
Huh. Also, we may be making a Yu-Gi-Oh video later on, because
Yeah.
I did find Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. I know it's not updated; it doesn't have all the latest cards and stuff, but I found it on sale for only $16. So I bought a copy for me and one for Arceaion, and so we're gonna be able to play, and I may eventually teach him how to play.
I'll
So
probably toy around with it on my own,
yeah,
but I mean, hey, it's always fun to have someone to play games with.
yeah. Um, so Arceaion, what's like
Well,
your dream?
my dream.
Your dream, like the
So
thing that you just your hopes and
I
your
have a
dreams. You probably already lost the hopes, but you still got a dream, right?
yeah, I've still got a dream or two left in me. Um, I would like one of my biggest dreams is actually to open up a bar.
Oh, really?
Like, so you know those
Like a gaming bar or like an old fashioned one, or
so you know those saloons,
yeah,
the old timey saloons from back during the Prohibition era.
yeah. The like the speakeasies.
So yeah, I want to do something like a speakeasy, but at the same time, I want it to be unique, as in it's like a very high class thing. Like, those, um, it's like a speakeasy
Like
type thing.
an expensive speakeasy, basically.
Yeah, I want it to be a kind of nice and fancy and
My friend
beautiful
actually
and all
went
that
to
stuff.
my friend actually went to a speakeasy one night without even meaning to. He went to a bar, and then they're like, "Hey, I think I know where like this one like speakeasy is and stuff." And one of his friends led him into the speakeasy, and then he ended up at a nightclub, and he was just saying how like the floor was just completely nasty and like just sticky, and I'm just like, dude, that could have been blood.
Nah, nah, I want it to be a nice place. Like, those
Yeah,
bars you go
no, I
to
mean,
and
you're
you
not gonna
feel
have one
like,
like that, but I was just saying that
nah.
he just like I've never been able to go to a nightclub experience or anything just because of the fact I don't have friends that go. So
Yeah, nightclubs are pretty nasty.
yeah, that's what I've
So,
heard.
so speaking about friends and nightclubs and all that stuff, I heard you had a good story about a birthday party in a van.
Okay, well the birthday party wasn't in the van per se.
Really?
No, we went to a theater and we were watching Spider-Man Homecoming. This is like my 16th or 17th birthday. It was a very long time ago. So I was just starting to drive and everything. So we go in. I have like 6 friends with me, and we all just go through, watch the movie, talk about the movie where we're leaving and stuff. And I get to where I need to turn left, I pull up to this, what are they called? It's like not really an on-ramp or something, because it's just going onto a road, but there's a split intersection. So part of the road goes one way.
A four-way intersection or something?
No, it's like a main road. So part of the road goes one way, part of the road goes the other, and then there's this garden in the middle. So I couldn't turn left, but I needed to turn left. So they're like, hey, like, you can't turn left. Also, I want to point out, this was at like 10 o'clock or 11 at night. Like, so we were all just really tired and stuff. And my friends were telling me, they're like, oh, you can't turn left. You can't turn left. You got to back out. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started backing out. And they're like, I think you're getting a little close. Like, I had two people in the very back of the van that were just like, I think you're getting a little close. And then two people in the middle that were just talking. And then me and my friend in the front that were just, and my friend's just the whole time, he's like, I think you're getting a little close. And I end up backing into this garden right next to the movie theater. And the entire time, like, everybody just, like, as soon as I backed into the garden, everybody felt like the bump and everything. They just all looked at me and stared silent, just like, what the heck did you do? And then someone's just like, I think you hit the curb. And I'm like, you think? And so I just, like, I put it in drive and I try and, like, pull out and everything. I couldn't get it out. So we had like, it was 6 of us there. Basically had to get like 5 of them out of the van just to push it and get it to move. We finally got to move and everything. I backed out, left, but the flower bed there was very much destroyed. And I had called my parents because I was like, hey, like, hey, I got the van stuck. I may need you to come up here and help me. That was before we got the van unstuck. And so turns out we got it unstuck. We pushed it out and everything. Ended up, my parents just didn't really get super angry at me because the van wasn't damaged and it was also just my birthday. So like, we can't be too harsh on them. So, but yeah, that's essentially what happened. I talked about it on my latest Final Fantasy video. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. It's on my channel. Great.
So you said you were at a Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was Spider-Man Homecoming.
I've never seen a Spider-Man movie. I watched I watched The Amazing Spider-Man like when I was young. I don't remember much of it.
Yeah.
It was the one where Venom was introduced.
Oh, so that would have been the third movie of the first series. But
No, it wasn't a movie. It was a TV show.
Yeah.
But I swear, like, that scared me half to death.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
There's a new Venom movie coming out. I don't know. Yeah. Have you seen the first one?
No.
It's really good. I have it. I own it.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it sometime. It's pretty good. Like, it's kind of like an anti-hero movie, so it's not really like quote unquote superhero.
Like Deadpool?
Yeah, it's like Deadpool. But
I like Deadpool.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. So yeah. What other traumatic experiences have I had as a child? A child. Jeez, I can't speak today.
Been doing all right. We've been just talking a lot today.
Yeah, we have. We
recorded a whole lot of Minecraft today.
Yeah, it was like a whole 2 hours of footage. You'll see that on the channel soon. Probably gonna edit it after this, and then edit the other podcast and post that.
Oh please, please, please! I'm on the last. Hang on. Let me.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna let you focus. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So what do you find in those chests? Bunny slippers. Well... Hop into bed or on the couch.
Oh wait, ingredient. Ooh, level up.
But anyways, I don't want to try and cover this. I don't want to try and cover the stuff that we talked about in the last podcast because even though it was like just not the best podcast, I don't want to have to go. I don't want to have to recover things like, for instance, the story about the tar chip that got stuck in my ear. I feel like that was just one that was on the last podcast that I don't really care to talk about.
I don't think we've covered that one before. I know you told me the story, but I don't think you've ever told the audience it.
Okay, well, I'll just tell it for sake of I forgot if it was in the last podcast episode or not. But basically, geez, this is just turning into all of my stories.
Well,
But
I got a story, but we'll tell it
yeah,
after.
you can tell yours afterwards. So basically, I was in 5th grade, and they had these tire tar chips in the playground, and I just want to point out, kids are dumb, um, at least ones at that age. I
All
made,
kids are so stupid. I mean,
eh,
it's natural for us to be. Hey,
yeah.
hey, 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 hey. I think we all know what kind of magazines these are.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's in a treehouse in the middle of bloody nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Anyways, back to the story.
why else do you have magazines in there?
Yeah. Back to the story. Um, so I was 5th grade, young kid, tar chips in the playground. And they would always, like, a common problem that they always have is, like, they'd always get stuck in kids' shoes. Like, we'd always come home with, like, almost like 20, 50 tar chips at the bottom of our shoes. And so that was just a common occurrence. It was just common at that school at the time, which honestly, I think the tar chips were better than like wood chips. They replaced them with wood chips later, but I feel like wood chips just hurt if you fall. Um,
Yeah, we had wood chips at my school's at the place at my school,
I
and
like
it
the
was
playground there.
not. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't enjoyable. If you
yeah,
fell, you would get splinters.
yeah.
You'd
Well,
hurt yourself.
after this incident, they replaced them with wood chips actually. But I went home one day, and I just was like screwing around with the tar chips in my shoe, and I got one stuck in my ear, and we had to go to a specialist to get it removed, and it was the most painful thing I have ever felt. They basically had to just spray it with water, and just use like little tweezers to try and pull, like yank it out and stuff. Or it wasn't even tweezers; it was like a rod. They just stick in there and try and like bend it out and all that. And it was like the worst pain I've ever felt. And and ever since then, I still have lost like at least half of my hearing in that ear. Um, but another thing, like it was like 3 or 4 years later, I was cleaning out my ears, and I swiped my ear, and there was like still a piece in there out of it. And I was like, that happened like years ago. I can't believe that was like stuck in there. So I'm wondering, if like the water and stuff was just like melting the tar chip, and that was how they were getting it out. It wasn't like that hot, I guess, but it was like kind of hot water they were using.
It
Um,
wouldn't surprise me if maybe a piece of it got stuck in your ear. Maybe that's why you can't hear so well. Maybe
well,
there's still a piece of it lodged in the very far back. Or
maybe, but I've cleaned my ears out like hundreds of times since then, and I don't think I've never pulled any out. But yeah.
maybe.
So,
Who
anyways, back
knows?
to your story.
Uh,
Do you remember what your story was?
well, I do have an idea. Though I suppose here's a question for you. What's your best pickup line?
My best pickup line. Oh, okay, okay. So I got a story for this one. So I
No,
found
not
okay,
yeah.
not like a
Okay,
story, but
tell
just
it.
the pickup line. You just want the pickup line?
Ye-
Okay, so
Well,
Lego,
yeah.
so Lego actually sells these like Lego flowers you can build. And so my best one that I have is just like, hey girl, you want me to buy you some Legos so we can build you some flowers? And everybody says it's bad, but I'm like, dude, that's like my favorite pickup line. Like, I don't even care if
So
it doesn't work. That's my favorite one.
so, and this isn't. I mean, it's not the best pickup line. I can assure you of that. It is
Well,
not
yeah,
the best
not,
pickup line.
yeah.
But this pickup line somehow worked, and it was my friend. And so this was a long time. This was maybe 4 years ago now, maybe five. But I was out with these guys, and I was young. I was pretty young.
As you tend to be.
So
For the
yes, I
record,
must have just
we're like
bloomed.
21, 22 now, so
I was like
these are
17
yeah.
back then, and we went to this place that sold alcohol, and so everyone was drinking, and they were older than me, so they were legally able to drink.
Yeah.
But the guy got drunk, and he had a horrible. Back then he was a very big drunk, and so he went up to this girl and he said, "Hey, baby, are you an angel? Because I'm allergic to feathers." And then he threw up all over the girl.
Oh my
And this
gosh,
is,
that's
I mean, this
nasty.
Yeah, and if anyone's ever seen stuff like that, that's a pretty stereotypical thing to happen. It's like, oh hey baby, bleh, throw up. But this is
Yeah.
where the story gets interesting because instead of the woman like getting all disgusted and hitting him or something, she just she takes a minute to stare at him, and then she looks at our group, goes over and says, "Hey, where's this guy? Where's this idiot live? I'm gonna take him home." So she takes him home and they start dating, and maybe like 6 months after they get married, he turns his whole life around for this girl. Like he stops drinking, he stops smoking, he stops doing drugs and all that
The
stuff,
magic
and
of love.
he just turns his life around, and they've been happily married for like I think the past like 4 years now.
That's
Like
such a
they've been
wholesome
married.
story.
Yeah, they've been married for a really long time. And I think, well, last I heard, he had a kid on the way.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. She's probably maybe 1 or 2 years old now.
So
But
how old are they compared to us? Are they like around the same age
uh,
or a little older?
well, I was 17, and I think he was 24.
Okay, so
It
like
was either
7 year
he
difference.
was he was like 23 or 24.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that kind of weird how you can be
I
friends with
knew,
someone that's like so much older than you?
yeah,
Like,
I know for a fact that the girl was 20. She was 23. I was gonna say 22, but no, she was 23. Took me a minute to remember.
yeah.
But
On another side note, my Final Fantasy Funny Moments video got 100 views now.
well,
Woot woot.
congratulations.
I'm actually doing pretty like
Congratulations.
whenever it comes to the views department, I'm doing pretty good as like steady growth. Like I had 17 views on the first one, 27 on the next, and 100 on the third. So that's pretty good. Although
Oh,
I feel like I need to mention to like and subscribe. Also like and subscribe to this video if you're watching, um, for more content like this and more. Because we're also
yeah.
gonna do actual gaming videos. We're gonna start. We should have some out like this week actually.
Well, we've got the Minecraft thing going to come out, and I mean, we want to start doing indie games, and this is
Yeah,
a
we'll
good
start doing an
indie
indie game
game.
series. Yeah,
Uh, we'll probably start working off indie games from Game Jolt and Itch.io.
yeah.
So we'll see how
We
that
might
goes.
find some on Steam that we might want to play. Like some of it's like Hollow Knight, Towerfall. Um,
I
what are
have
some other
Hollow
ones I could
Knight.
think of?
I have Hollow Knight on Steam, so I guess we could get together and play that.
Yeah, we could do that. Um, yeah, there's some other ones that I.
Speaking of Hollow Knight, uh, its sequel. When do you think its sequel is gonna come out?
Wait, was it? Had to have a sequel announced?
Yeah, there's the sequel. I showed it to you. It
Oh,
was announced a long time ago.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a sequel, but it's been like, oh, coming out soon for like the past several years.
Huh.
So,
So
yeah.
in other news, you can now queue to to purchase a PS5. You can get in a queue. Like you can
Really?
queue to purchase one. Yeah, which honestly I think is a pretty good idea because there's thousands of people out there, including me, that want one and just cannot get their hands on one because every bit of scalpers is just like, hey, I want one. So, but it's on
Yeah,
Sony's official website if you guys wanna do that.
that'll be a good thing to do.
What's your thoughts on the Steam Deck actually when we're talking about new consoles and stuff?
A
Have you heard about
Steam
that?
Deck? No, I haven't heard about Steam Deck. What's Steam Deck?
Okay, so this is something that's made by Valve, which is the company that created Steam. But they've known to not have the best hardware in the past. But it's essentially like a Switch, but for Steam games.
Hmm.
So it's able to play like And from what I've heard, it's like pretty powerful. It can play some pretty good games and everything. But I don't know. I already have a gaming desktop. I don't need something for that because it can only play
Yeah.
Steam games.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you can always play Steam games and enjoy them. So
yeah, yeah. My brother bought an Xbox Series S. I don't know if I told you about this.
yeah, you did. You said that it doesn't have very good.
It only has 500 gigabytes of storage,
It's
and
not very
it's an
good.
all digital edition. And that's apparently the only one that hasn't been selling very well, because I went to Walmart today and they had like two in stock.
Really.
Yeah, they still had a ton in stock. So yeah, but the
Mm.
PS5 has been selling like crazy. I've never seen a PS5 on a shelf. Like the second I see one on a shelf, I'm buying it.
Well, I wonder how much of it is actually scalpers and how much of it is just people desperate to get their hands on it.
With like when it comes to PS5, it's probably 90% scalpers. I don't know. I think it's like about 50-50 now because
Probably.
I know if I ran into a PS5, I'd buy it on the spot.
Yeah. Inflation is an interesting thing.
Yeah. Speaking of inflation, actually, um, you this doesn't really affect you very much, but Konami, like the company that created Yu-Gi-Oh, they're raising their card pack prices by 20 cents, starting like with the next main set. And it's just because of the fact that the cardboard is getting very hard to, or it's getting harder to like come by and stuff, just because of the fact that COVID's been a thing and people have been buying up Pokemon cards a ton. So I thought that was
Hmm,
kind of interesting. I figured I'd share
that
that.
is that
Yeah.
is interesting. I mean, I
So
don't have much of a response to that, but I
yeah,
mean, don't that is very interesting. So
yeah.
don't think
Well,
that's not.
once you start playing the game a bit more, like if you get into it and all, I'm not gonna force you to get into it, but once you if you like start to like the game and all, then
Yeah,
you can kind of you can kind
I
of see how that
understanding.
affects the community and stuff.
Well, you told me that you had a deck that you wanted to get me.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
like
like an
a Nordic
Asgard
deck.
deck.
A what?
Yeah, I was gonna say an Asgardian deck,
Well,
but
yeah, it's Asgardian, Nordic, as Aesir. It's all three the same exact thing. So, I
so
do
here's a
have it
question: How do you pronounce? What's the right pronunciation for it? I mean,
for Asgard or Nordic or Aesir
yeah,
for that deck.
no, for like in mythology and all that, because
Oh,
Asgard is what most people say.
well,
Aesir,
I feel like it should be Nordic because like in Yu-Gi-Oh they call it Aesir, and then in Marvel they call it Asgardians, and it just feels like it's supposed to be Nordic because when you're talking about like uh if you're talking about like in the mythology, it's been known for being Norse mythology, like Norse mythology, and not. So it's kind of Nordic. I feel like Nordic is the perfect way to say it. I don't think it's Asgard, and I don't think it's Aesir either. I think like or did I say Nordic? Yeah, Nordic.
yeah,
Nordic is the right term. I feel like so. Yeah.
yeah,
Anyways, we can end the podcast there.
really. Do we have enough?
I mean, yeah, we got plenty. That's been about 38, 39 minutes so far.
Really? So,
So, anything else you
any
want
are
to, or sorry?
nah. I've been just kind of following along because I don't have the topics list. So,
Yeah, you don't have the
any
topics
any
list, you're just playing games.
yeah, any closing remarks? Any final
Um,
things? I guess I might as well do it this round because you've been doing it. Um,
yeah,
if you guys haven't, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff.
it helps the algorithm.
It does. It helps the algorithm a whole lot. So I normally don't plug because I don't think it's a. I think it's kind of.
It's kind of
I
cringe
mean,
per
if you
se.
yeah, if you're gonna subscribe, you're gonna subscribe.
Like,
Me
yeah, it's
me
just up to
saying
you, really. Like,
me saying go do this doesn't mean you have to. It's
yeah,
just
it's just a suggestion. Like, hey, if you like it, then you should.
yeah.
But
But I guess I'll do it this round since I normally don't.
yeah, So let us know in the comments actually if you like the whole doing this through Discord thing, if this sounds better, works better, and everything. It works pretty well for us. I mean, we can record the podcast at any time now. We don't have to schedule it.
No, we don't.
Yeah, but we'll
We'll
probably
still
still do
we'll
podcasts
still
in
be
person.
we'll still be releasing Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really.
Oh, you're good.
We'll still be releasing them on Wednesdays or Thursdays every 2 weeks, so that won't be changing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Last episode was kind of a very like mix
it
up
w-
episode. It
yeah, it
wasn't the
was
best.
that one. Um, Depending on like what we talk about in a little bit, that one might actually be released at a different point. It
Yeah,
may be released
we may save
earlier.
that for like a bloopers
No, I'm saying we may
or
release it earlier than
earlier than the original podcast was supposed to be released.
yeah, because it might be just
Maybe.
kind of a bloopers type thing.
Maybe we'll see.
And um, leave a comment down on whether you want to see us do more freestyle stuff. We'll get better over time,
Yeah.
but
And
leave a comment if you
comment down
want to.
below like if you want to see us switch the game in the background every now and then because we
Oh, we'll probably switch it. I mean,
yeah,
this is. I think the next game we should play is right click to necromance
because I liked the
in the
Shuba Duck
back.
for a while, but after having the Shuba Duck on there for like 4 episodes straight, you kind of get burnt out on it.
Yeah,
So
I
we
mean,
may do
we'll
Minecraft
bring
mining or something for the series or something like that. I don't know yet.
we'll bring Shubaduck back, but he's off on vacation for a while.
Yeah,
So
he took a vacation to a little place we call the Ducklands, and this is also part of the Shuba Duck lore. So, but anyways, yeah, that's it. Thanks for
you
watching,
just
guys. Appreciate it. Arceaion.
uh, thanks for coming, and bye.
Bye.